Wedding Nerdigans. This is the one and only Packer Girl 89, and today's hashtag anime nerdigan review is going to be for Adam the Beginning, Season 1, Episode 1. And before I get into this review, let me just, briefly explain how I do my anime nerdigan review. So basically, while I'm watching the anime, I have the manga chapter right in front of me, and I'll basically call out if there's anything missing or if the scenes are changed around. Just about anything, with the exception of word changes. If the context of the sentence is basically the same, then I will leave it be. I won't talk shit about it, because otherwise we'll be here for an hour just talking about word changes. Anyway, let's get to this review. So this anime, I'm kind of like I got a little bit confused at the beginning. I was like, wait, this isn't how the manga starts. And like the scene they showed of, testing A106, A106 horsepower. Yeah, that wasn't in the beginning. What I wish they would have done in the beginning before the opening song is what they did after the opening song, which is basically talking about the catastrophe. But the only thing that was skipped from that, was nothing about it was ever made public, neither its magnitude or what caused it. But something I did like that the narration added was the fact about how robots don't have hearts, and like all this other stuff about robots coexisting with humans and shit like that. And because later on in the anime or in the manga, there's especially in the past couple of chapters, it gets into a really deep discussion. A106 will get into a really deep discussion about emotions with a robot. It's really, really fascinating. I really recommend you reading the manga. But anyway, and then what it does, this anime does, is basically it jumps to when we're trying to wake up Umataro. Or no, but no, this is after Umataro's woken up and he's he's hurt. And the dialogue here is really, really good. Even though like I would say it's not to the T, there's like how should I say this? The script is kind of mixed up, the order of it. But as long as it's there, I really don't care. I just want the dialogue to be there. Let's see. And then after it goes to jumps after, let's see, after the sandwich, or after when Umataro says the sauce is delicious, before we go back up to like the near the beginning of the chapter, we didn't get to see A106. I don't understand why we didn't get to see him like watering the plants, but whatever. But then we jump back to the beginning. But something that was not mentioned, and it should be mentioned, is that we're studying at the National University of Narima's campus. And then for us robot researchers, that day was going to be memorable. And then this line was skipped when he says hello to the girls, and he says, "Oh, these girls go to this," before he says hello, he says, "Oh, these these girls go to the same seminar as me. Hello. Have you heard about?" "No, really? They totally ignore me." And then he goes on to thinking, "Why can't I draw girls' attention? Maybe I have a special gift." And then bam! And then it's actually correct in the anime, and I'm very happy with this. This line was cut as well, which was how admirable, even though his legs are paralyzed, he's worrying about the one who hit him. That was cut. But before I continue, I forgot to mention the opening song. That is freaking amazing. The opening song is beautiful. I heard it already prior when they did the preview, but in the sequence, I really love that we get to see the sequence of where A106 is fighting Mars. Oh man, I can't wait to see that episode. That episode is going to probably be the best fucking episode of the series, is when A106 fights Mars. Oh my fucking god, I can't wait. But anyway, yeah, that line was skipped, and again, the opening song is fantastic. The opening songs this year have been really good, I gotta say, for this season. So this line, these lines got cut, and they also added something different. They added Motoko like a lot sooner, like Motoko giving him the sandwich. And I was just like, wait, no, this is not how it is. Motoko shows up after, but whatever. But this is what was cut from the dialogue. Moria is such a nice guy, nothing like Umataro, even though both are geniuses. Umataro is just a stuck-up, selfish bastard with no regards for his entourage. And then we get into the Motoko stuff. So after, Makoto, says that line about teasing the trash, it skips back to where, to the middle of the chapter, which is, again, chapter 1. And, we don't, what kind of bothers me, I really wish they would have just kept it to the order of events in the manga, because it would have flowed so much better. But the thing is that, I forgot to mention this, the thing with the time. Umataro doesn't look at one of the A100 series. No, he looks at an actual clock first. But I kind of like that because it was just recently mentioned about how one of them was a clock. So in the most recent chapter. So I'm happy with that. So I'm not going to complain too much. But I really wish we would have gotten to see the outside of the lab and see A106 there. Especially the thing that bothers me especially it's not going in the order of events in the chapter, is that this manga is not very long right now. Right now, I want to say it's about, I want to say it's about like 8 chapters right now. So I just didn't understand that shit at all. I kind of like that we had this scene, even though it wasn't in the manga, with Rand trying to, get the parts and like just seeing, trying to rush to the parade and stuff like that. I actually don't mind the addition of this scene. I think it's okay. But something that was kind of bothering me a little bit is just the order of the events in the manga are just not completely there. But I will say this, the content is there. And as long as they're not like completely skipping content, I'm not going to be too pissed. But the order of the events, like the way it's flowing, I'm not feeling the flow. I really am not feeling the flow of how they did this. If they would have just went in the order of the events in the manga, it would have been a lot better. But everything's here. Like everything in this chapter is here, with the exception of, a few lines here or there, and also the exception of going to the lab. That's the only thing that bothers me, is we don't get to see 106 at the beginning, like near the beginning when he's going into the lab. That kind of bothers me a little bit, that we haven't seen 106 yet. We should have seen 106 already. But anyway, I'm curious especially if you're reading the manga like I am, I'm curious what you nerdigans think about that. Something that I like that this anime does is that with this extra content that we get is, I love that we get to see the parade itself and see it animated is beautiful. And we get to see even more of the parade, and we get to see like Dr. Lola, who is going to be big in this manga later, especially later on. I like seeing how, I like hearing the music. The music is good, and I like seeing how the audience is interacting with it. I really am liking that. When it comes to extra content like that, it kind of makes me think of Hunger Games a little bit. I actually like what this anime is doing. It's really, really nice. If you're going to use filler, this is how you use filler. But at the same time, again, I hope we get to see the entrance to the lab and the security system in next episode. But it should have been here. It should have been here. And yeah, that's just going to bother the fuck out of me. I really don't like that the comedic facial expressions aren't all there. Umataro had his comedic facial expression, but we didn't get to see, a second. Let me just scroll up in my notes here. We didn't get to see Ochano Mizu's comedic face, like when he was like saving fucking A. Oh my god, what's his name? By Moria, by Tsutsumi. We didn't get to see that. And there was also one like where Onochimarizu had like this stuck up face. He's like, huh? He's like, I told you so, like giving the I told you so look. Where was it? Where was it? He said he had his nose stuck up and he's like, you only realized it now, and this is what after Momotaro realized that they were going to be suspended. The other thing that again, I mentioned 6 already. Like, we didn't get to see 6 do his thing already here, but anyway, I do, as I said, I like the parade. I'm liking this dialogue very much. The dialogue is really good. The only thing that was missing with the was where was it? When she said after Umataro says, "You're the little sister of Motea Tsutsumi, the chief student researcher of Lab 1," and she's like, "So what? I wasn't hiding it." And then when she's supposed to say, "Huh," she said, she's like thinking, "What is he talking about?" And has like this blank look on her face, and that wasn't there, and that just really, really bothered me. Holy shit. The punch that A106 did on that water tank thing. Oh my fucking god, that was so awesome to see. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So this was cut was after Wait Umataro. Damn, I can't catch up with him. When did he become so agile? What the mayor is so strong. What a jump. It's unbelievable. And then everything is right. And it is, oh, it's so nice. It is so nice. Again, I really like the added dialogue we're getting, you know, with the background, seeing the operations. Because in the manga, we only got to see the wires overheating. We didn't know exactly where it was. But yeah, I really, really enjoy that. We got like something similar cinematography, I should say, to the Hunger Games. That's just what it reminds me of. It really, really does. Something that one of this kid says is amazing. They're even reproducing the Emerald Splash, and like the first thing that it made me think of was JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Which season was it? Season 3 or Arc 3? Stardust Crusaders. Oh my fucking god! It just, because remember one of the stands. It just really is making me think of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. As soon as he said it, that was the first thing I thought of. And then the ending of chapter 1 was cut, which was this. Amazing, he broke a pressurized water tank with a punch. That's crazy. Hey, close the main valve, quick. Really? What are you doing, Umataro? Hiroshi, come over here. What? Umataro, but how? Come and see. Oh, Ochanomizu, he ignored me. If we can see the traces of a fire caused by a short circuit, smoke is still coming out. It looks like the fire just started out and was put out by the water. And look inside. Hold on a second. Let me just make sure that this part wasn't cut out. I kind of like how we got to see A106 jump out. I thought that was really, really, really cool. But I'm curious what you nerdigans thought about that too. I thought that was really, really cool to see A106 come out like that. Because especially since we haven't seen A106 all episode when we were supposed to see him at least twice. I want to scratch that the punch thing was not cut out. But something that I like that this anime did was, you know, to show a brief aftermath, how it affected the rest of the population. I really enjoyed that. And before it went to the investigation, which of what happened, which was at the end of the chapter. So I understand, and I know I'm not I'm not big on filler stuff like this, but this is when it's okay. Well, like, the situation with this manga is, again, it's not that many chapters, and they're basically doing, from my understanding, like 1 chapter per episode. So I really understand why we're getting the filler to, you know, compensate for it. But again, I just wish we would have had that scene in the beginning that we were supposed to, and that little thing about that no one that no one knows the full details of the robot shit, the incident that was mentioned in the beginning. So again, the explanation of what happened wasn't cut. As I said earlier, I just read my fucking notes wrong. It wasn't cut. It was just, we just added a little bit of filler because there's what basically was happening was that the anime decided to show the aftermath, which again, I'm fine with. So A106 was supposed to be still hanging off the water tower, but, you know, I actually like what they did in the anime a little bit more, where he jumped off and the costume fell off and he just headed home. I thought that was really, really cool. To be honest, I kind of like how the anime did it a little bit more than the manga when it came to, you know, A106. After, you know, he put the fire out. I really like that a lot more than what the manga did and just left him hanging. I'm so glad they kept, the grabbing each other's nose, because that happens all the time in this manga. Is when I'm gonna use my little bear here as an example. They go like this, and they grab each other's nose and go whoomp. I fucking love it. I love it. I love that they still have that. The only thing that they really messed up at the end was the line Tomoko has. Let me make sure I'm saying the right name here. Hold on a second. Sorry, I don't know why I say Tomoko. What Motoko says at the end, she actually says they're quite an odd bunch instead of what's with them. But I really like how we have the narration at the end was perfect. And I really like the animated sequences we had for that. And the other thing that I liked is I like that A106 says goodnight to V14, which is the cat. And because that's going to happen again later in the manga. So if you read the manga, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But I'm curious what you nerdigans thought of this episode. Overall, I actually liked the filler that they put in here. The filler was used really nicely. I liked what they did with A106, like pop it out of the costume. I thought that was badass. The only thing I didn't like that we didn't get to see is when oh shit. Hold on a second. Was when Hiroshi goes into the lab when we see the lab the first time when he goes in to wake up Umataro. We didn't get to see A106 there. That was the thing that bothered me, because we were supposed to see A106 twice. Once to let Hiroshi in, and the other time was when Umataro was giving the order to A106 to it implied that he was giving him the order to dress up in his mayor costume. But I'm curious what you nerdigans thought of this episode. Overall, the episode was good. I really can't wait to see what they do with this series, with this manga. The other thing I want to say that I'm really happy about is that it stayed to just one chapter. I'm very happy with that. But I hope next episode, and what I'm hoping for the series, is that they stick with this sequence order of events better. Because I didn't like how they jumped around in the chapter at the beginning. It kind of bothered me. But other than that, I'm satisfied with this. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. If you love what I'm doing and want to contribute to the Nerdigans Inc. expansion, there's a few ways you can do that. You can donate to the Nerdigans Inc. PayPal, Patreon, or purchase something off the Nerdigans Inc. Amazon wishlist. All those links are in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow me on the Twits, aka Twitter. Follow my Twitch channel and friend me on PlayStation Network. All that's in the description box below as well. And until next time, Nerdigans, I'll be seeing you later. Bye!